Hello, Gus the Hutt here, coming back with part 5 of this Codex Dark Angels review. This time we're coming back with the ginger stepchild of the Codex, the Deathwing.
Yep, the poor old faction that got nerfed into the floor. But they're still kicking around. They're still okay.
They're still good?
They're still not dreadful, are they?
Their role has been changed. You can't play an army of them, in my opinion, anymore.
No, the idea is that previous Codex, a lot of people were playing solely Deathwing just for that turn 1 strike. It was a bit better, but it was also a bit predictable. A lot of people were just doing that, and now, I mean, I've read a lot of bleating and whining on the internet about I'm shelving my Deathwing and they're just totally unplayable. You just have to play them differently, and you might have to mix them up. They might have to play well with others.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about the detachment first? Because this will let everyone know exactly what you're talking about by what their problem is.
Well, there's a strike force and a redemption.
The detachment for them.
It's 2 formations, I think. Rather than...
No, so there's detachment.
No, the as in the strike force.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the detachment.
Right. Well, first of all, there you can have 3 HQ choices and 10 elites.
And a whole bunch of elites.
So basically, there's your Deathwing army if you want it. So it does still exist. But all units in this detachment must begin the game in Deep Strike Reserve if your army includes a Ravenwing attack squadron, see page 42, which is a bit before it, or a Ravenwing strike force. You can choose to automatically pass or fail any reserve roll you make for this unit. So it can come in whenever. First Knight of Caliban, if this detachment is your primary detachment, you can re-roll the result when rolling on the Dark Angels Warlord traits table, which is semi-pointless because if you're going to take Belial, which you probably are, or Belial, depending on how you pronounce him, he's already got a Warlord trait. And take the fight to the enemy, units from this detachment can either shoot, then run, or run, then shoot in the shooting phase of the turn they arrive from Deep Strike. Now the issue you've got with this is you can't take it on its own, because
Deathwing Assault
doesn't exist.
Well, it does.
But it's not the same.
You just can't do it in turn 1. Turn 2, 3 or 4, no problem. So you've gained an extra 2 turns of ability when they're going to turn up, but that turn 1 option, just not there. In fact, if you put Venerable Dreadnoughts in drop pods in that particular detachment, the drop pod loses drop pod assault. So that can't turn up on turn 1 either.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen anymore. You have to mix it about, you have to put other stuff in there. It's changed what they do. They've gone to... The idea is that the Deathwing beam into where the fighting's thickest and kick off. Whereas the other one was 25 Terminator.
Turn 1.
Just pop up and wreak havoc.
Belial himself, he's got an extra weapon option, so he can take all 3 of the Terminator weapon options now. So even his sword, you don't take that. Lightning Claws, you don't take that. The Thunderhammer Storm Shield, yes, you take that one.
I'd take the sword.
Yeah, that's because you're silly.
Yes, I am. But it's a sword. It's quite pointy. It's flashbang.
It's not AP2. Terminators need to kill AP2.
Having said that, looking at it from the cool point of view that the sword, if you're running it, that means you're probably using the very anemic model. Yes. That is designed for him and that looks like he's been on Slim Fast.
Yeah.
It's an awful model. Don't, my Belial is a...
Convert your own, you can make one that looks so much better.
Yeah, I mean, my one's just Lysander.
I use the actual Belial because I'm a bit of a purist.
And the model's crap.
Better than the Azrael one.
But Azrael is old and crap, whereas Belial is new and crap.
To think about it, work on their techniques. And...
Azrael's 20 years old.
No, he's about 40.
No, not quite 20, but almost.
95?
I've been in the hobby 20 years, and I was about when he came out, so... It's not quite 20 years, but almost.
They've mucked about a couple of his roles, but they've made him...
He doesn't scatter when he lands. So...
Never did. He hasn't got precision shots.
Once again, he's got the hunt.
What's that, you get...
Precision shots.
Yeah.
Pretty pointless if you're running him with the Thunderhammer Storm Shield.
Yep.
almost entirely pointless.
Yep. So once again, they copy pasted it and didn't realise that the hunt wasn't the one he should have given. He should have got for the lion, and he would have done a better job.
He does now get to re-roll all of his failed hits in a challenge.
In the challenge, yep. Unfortunately, once again, he doesn't have Eternal Warrior, so some of the things he's going to be fighting in the challenge will one-shot him.
Yeah.
Hence why you need to give him a Storm Shield to survive. That's about it.
You're paying there for an extra 1 on your invulnerable save. He's already got 4 up. He's not that killable.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you see the glass half empty.
No, I just know that
No,
he dies.
I don't rate him.
An Orc War boss will
Rip him in half.
well, make short work of him.
Yep.
Ripped in half. The bog standard Deathwing Terminator units are cheaper,
By 20 points.
which is nice.
Yep.
Because previously you were paying an awful lot of points. Okay, granted, we've never had to worry about the difference between a Terminator Assault Squad and a Terminator Squad, because all of our squads you can just mix and match all the stuff.
Which is great.
It's been wonderful, because you just go, I'll have a couple of Thunder and a Storm Shield and an Assault Cannon standing right behind him. He he he. Nobody else gets to do that. It's lovely.
Or even a plasma cannon if you're really
Or a
feeling
plasma
inclined.
cannon if you want to go completely bananas with it. The reason I haven't done that yet is I haven't got any Deathwing with plasma cannons on. Watch this space. Because if you're going to go plasma.
These guys have been given a massive buff, in my opinion. They're 20 points cheaper. They've got Grim Resolve,
Yeah.
and they've got Split Fire standard. They've not just Split Fire and a ton they come in.
No.
They're ridiculous.
They've not got Vengeful Strike, or do they get that in the formation?
What does Vengeful Strike do?
The twin linked when they deep struck.
That might be.
I think they lost that, didn't they? That was part of Deathwing Assault.
That was part of Deathwing Assault.
And that is now gone.
Yeah, well, it might be a formation one.
Which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
Deathwing Assault. No, they've lost it.
The twin linking used to be a bit useful.
Yeah, they've lost it. But having Split Fire standard means they're basically trying to tell you that you try and start these guys in play, so you get more worth out of them. The Deathwing Command Squad, once again, was always good, and is just better.
Yeah, that's cheaper as well.
Yeah, that's 20 points cheaper as well.
But you can have a Terminator Apothecary.
Yeah, which is just the best. Deathwing Knights.
They're good, but they're expensive.
Yes.
They're good because they're expensive. Or are they expensive?
Their
because
weaponry
they're
has gotten a lot better as well.
good? Has it?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
It gained AP.
Now they don't smite once a game, they can choose to do it every single turn, so they can just go straight 10 AP2, cheers.
I think they're better.
But now they're always AP3.
Not being able to come in on turn 1, however, does slow them down by a turn. And that does matter a lot.
So you're not getting a charge off until at least turn 3.
No,
Yeah,
I think these bad boys deserve to be in a Land Raider, and then you can charge turn 2.
But
Yeah.
that's something you can't do if you're taking them as part of their detachment.
I will never will
Because
that.
they have to start in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the formations, you look at the degree of synergy that they use where they're actually useful with each other. The Deathwing ones all seem to fit together like you're making a jigsaw puzzle up, but where they're keeping hold of the picture and not letting you see it.
Yep.
It's kind of like you're hammering bits together just for...
So, Halberd of Caliban is not...
They're better.
Yeah, that's the Command Squad one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Halberd of Caliban is really good. Deathwing Knights one is the Mace and the Flower. Mace is the one with Smite, so they basically will do a Strength 8 AP2 once, but you only get 1 attack each, but they can do that every turn.
Every turn.
They've got Concussive on Initiative Order. That's very good.
What does Concussive do?
If you hit them...
If you hit them and you don't kill them, they're initiative 1 for the next round.
Right. What's your initiative if you kill them?
0.
0.
And you've got the Flower of the Unforgiven, which is Fleshbane.
This is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, alright, I'm down with that.
Wounds on 2s.
Yep.
Yeah. They're alright.
I mean, you can make them Adamantium Will for 15 points.
Which is useful.
Yep.
They're just...
And their toughness, they should be toughness 5 all the time.
They should have 2 wins.
Yes, they should have 2 wins. Let's not cut about this. If Grey Knights can get it.
Do they still have that shield wall ability of theirs?
Yeah, toughness 1. Toughness +1 if they've got 2 models touching. One model touching 2 other models. Yeah, they've still got that.
They still have
Which means you still can put a HQ choice in there and make it the HQ toughness 5. So basically you put Belial in there and he's toughness 5. At that point Belial is a different animal and that's why I think he's better. You bung him in this, you bung him in you can't put him in a Land Raider then.
He won't fit.
So you're going to have to walk him up or teleport.
Doesn't the Crusader have a 16?
Yes, you can do it.
Carriage,
so you've got to put him in a Crusader. And
Crusader
that's what you would do.
Or Redeemer.
Yeah, Redeemer's 14, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's doable.
To be honest, you bung Belial in this unit, and depending on what you're facing, you either have Belial at the front tanking, and then once he's taken 2 wounds, you're stepping back because I think he's got 3.
Yeah, he's got 3, I think.
Because I don't think he's got a 4th wound that.
No, I don't think anybody in this has got 4 wounds.
Yeah, Azrael's got 4 wounds.
Has he got 4 wounds?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Maybe he's good after all.
No, he's not. He's still shit. Don't believe that. No, right. Okay, so that's the Deathwing Knights. Yeah, they're good.
They're good. That's the basic crux of it.
Yeah.
What are the formations actually given?
So the formation, because they've only got one. Once again, poor old Deathwing got hit with a nerf hammer so hard in this. So understandably or not, we don't know, but they've got one, which is the Deathwing Redemption Force. You can take one of the following. You can either take a Belial, Company Master, Interrogator Chaplain, or Librarian. 2 to 5 Deathwing Terminator squads, 0 to 1 Command squads, Deathwing, 0 to 1 Deathwing Knights, and then 0 to 1 Venerable Dreadnoughts. They all get Preferred Enemy Space Marine. That's Chaos Space Marine, sorry.
There's a difference. If you glue spikes onto a Marine, it's a Chaos Marine. The Deathwing Assault Rule.
Deathwing Assault Rule, which is, instead of coming down on turn 1 or 2, your choice written down, it's now you pick either turn 2, 3 or 4.
I think you still have to pick in advance. You have to make a note of which turn it turns up. So you can choose.
Secret of note, yeah, okay.
You can choose to have your massively expensive Deathwing Redemption Force turn up on turn 2 in a game that potentially will end in turn 5.
In other words, you're picking 2. Like, you're never picking anything like that.
Why would anybody pick turn 4 for it to arrive? You're spending that many points on a unit. Do you want it out of the game for half of it?
If it comes, it's not even half.
No.
Because if it comes in turn 4 and you can't assault till turn 5, the game could end at that point. And 2 standard units of Deathwing is 400 points on its own. Belial, if you take him, is 190 points. And that's like the bare bones of it. So that's 600 points of your army.
I mean, it's nice that they've given you the option, but it's an option that hardly anybody's ever going to take.
There's the potential for a strategic reason, but they haven't got objectives secure. So it's not like you can just drop them all over the place and go, I'll take all these objectives, ha 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 ha. They're not going to do anything.
I mean, they're quicker though. They get to move a lot. They take the fight to the enemy.
They do get to drop in, shoot and then run, or run then shoot. That's a sort of fairly important distinction.
Which means they get to separate before someone shoots at them.
No, it doesn't. Because they shoot and run in the movement phase. No, in the shooting phase, not the movement phase. Yeah. So the interceptor will hit them when they arrive in the movement phase.
Oh, yeah, interceptor, but that's fine. That's interceptor.
Yeah. It allows you to split them apart so that you're apart for your opponent's shooting phase.
Their biggest vulnerability is that one unit shooting them is fine, but when you're clumped up in your opponent's shooting phase, the Terminators were the biggest waste of points ever.
There's still, I mean, this is a very expensive formation to be including.
Yes, it is. But this is try to keep the people who play Deathwing happy.
Yeah.
And to be honest...
From what I've read, it's failed dismally.
Yes, it has. The one thing I will say here is that I don't care how you read this or how you try to break it, you can't deep strike Land Raiders. Don't try, you're wrong. Full stop.
It's also worth noting about the removal of the Deathwing vehicle rule from the dedicated transports.
Yeah, Deathwing vehicle's gone, so that 35 point upgrade in the old Codex has disappeared. You now just have to take Land Raiders. But if you take this squad, you can't take Land Raiders. You must remember that. You can't put them in this squad. If they FAQ it, where you can deep strike Land Raiders, that's quality. Until that point, you can't do this in this formation. Don't try and blag it. It ain't gonna work. We're not Blood Angels.
Really is daft, isn't it?
Yep.
So you don't actually have the option of starting them on the table.
No.
There is no choice.
No. No. So that's where we got. That's where we got to go to the Lion's Blade a second, and you've got to check in the Lion's Blade whether you can take Terminators in any other unit.
No, I don't believe you can.
So
it actually says Redemption Force. That's it.
Yes. So
that's the only Deathwing entry in the Lion's Blade.
Yes. So basically, but you cover it in the Hammer of Caliban that you still get your Land Raiders and they're more useful. So Dark Angels, but apparently use Land Raiders differently. There you go. That's the way they're trying to fluff it out. Is that our Deathwing never use Land Raiders basically. I disagree with that, but
yeah.
If they FAQ it that you can do Land Raiders, then I think this formation is broken. And
because you give them all the
it doesn't.
They all have a Land Raider.
The one thing you've got to take note here, if you're one of these people that argue about that, is that the way that they've written about the drop pods and how the drop pods lose their rules for dedicated transport for the dreadnoughts, they would have highlighted somewhere in this entry that if you can take Land Raiders, you can do this. It doesn't say anywhere that. So
I think the bottom line here is that any players that are 100% Deathwing players, that's all they play with, they need to play Unbound now to make it work.
Differently.
Yes, they're going to have to play Unbound.
Because it's the only way to play with them and have them on the table.
But to be honest, guys, if you're just Deathwing players and you're not really embracing the fluff of the Dark Angels anyway.
Well, also, they probably haven't got that many Land Raiders because they were deep striking in turn one anyway.
So, to be honest, mate, just grab some bikes or grab some normal troops and just get involved. Then you're fine. And to be honest, with these new rules for this new Codex, why you wouldn't want to try and get a demi-battle company and that together?
Because you've got Terminators that are overwatching at Ballistic Seal 4 in that particular detachment.
Yeah.
It's a bit tasty.
That's it for Deathwing.
Yeah, there's
not a lot there. No, my overall feeling about Deathwing is they've been neutered slightly, but their things have changed. You have to take them with everything else. Anything to add?
That's pretty much. I think they changed the way that Dark Angels played very much in the previous Codex, and it railroaded you into either going all Deathwing or all Ravenwing, and they're now trying to sell models, which we've already said is a good thing. Yeah, I play them differently. It's not like every time a new Codex or a new rule set comes out, you generally have to amend the way that you play with it. There's no point throwing your toys out of the pram.
No, try and adapt to it, and to be honest, we've had more pluses than negatives.
Yes.
So just take that yes, it is changed, yes, it is different. I don't think it matters.
Not the end of the world.
Deal with it. We haven't got a bad Codex. Be happy, don't be sad. But you must remember, it is the Ravenwing edition, and we'll be getting to that in the next part.
I think what people have got to realise that this section of the book is a meh section in an otherwise good Codex.
I totally agree. Yeah.
And it's not that meh. They're still Terminators.
Yeah. They're still cheap Terminators now.
They're cheap Terminators that are more flexible than everybody else's. You just don't get to use them the way you used to.
Oh, actually, there is a point to note here, actually, because I did notice to take Thunderhammer and Storm Shield is now 10 points instead of 5. So there is a slight point tax on the Deathwing Terminator squad.
But the actual cost has been...
The cost has been lowered, so it will be 5 points more expensive for this squad to take them than the old squad. That's still not bad.
Pretty solid. They're still good.
Yeah.
They're just not what they used to be.
That's it. Done.
Yeah, done.
That's it.
Okay, so we'll be coming back with the next section, which will be the Ravenwing.
Basically, what this Codex is all about.